I mentioned in my previous video that I'm going to be sharing today because I'm here at the hospital receiving my treatment, my exchange of blood, and I just took the opportunity to record today because there's no baby here, there's no background noise, it's just me, quiet environment. So today I'm gonna be speaking about compatibility. So the title for today is Stop, You're Not Compatible. A friend of mine called a few days ago and inquired if I can make a video about compatibility in marriage, especially in the area of health and sickle cell anemia and who to marry. So I thought, hey, of course, let's do this. So like I've always mentioned, sickle cell anemia is a genetic disease, and it comes with its ups and downs. One of the cons is that we have frequent crisis, which it's not fun. It's for me, I don't know about other people. When I'm having joint pains, it's like I have a bunch of needles smashing into my vein, like poking hard in my joints, and it's really terrible, like excruciating pain that words cannot explain. It's just bad. So yeah, so that's one of the disadvantages of being a sickle cell patient. And I also mentioned that sickle cell anemia, well, not anemia, sickle cell, the cells are like half of a donut, and it's sickled. It's like a C shape, and yeah, that's sickle cell. That's SS. Sickle cell also is known as SS genotype, and there is AS genotype. Oh, before I go to AS, there's SC. That SC is I believe, like my doctor explained to me, it's like they produce some stuff by themselves, and although they're not AS, but then they're better than SS, but they're still considered sicklers, because they have sickle cell anemia as well. But to an extent, they're better than the sickle cell patients or individuals. Yeah, and then the AS is the carrier of sickle cell anemia, and although they don't have frequent pain, but sometimes once in a while when the weather is extreme, they can also have mild crisis. Like I said, it's not like the laying down in the bed or receiving blood transfusions and drip, like you guys know it in Nigeria, or fluids, like we call it here in America. So they don't have to go through all of that treatment, where a sickle cell patient or a sickle cell individual actually receive treatments in the hospital. It's common that you have to visit the hospital if you want proper treatment. And some people manage it at home. Sometimes I manage my crisis at home, where I believe, oh, I'm not in massive pain and I can handle this pain at home. So those AS carrier, sickle cell carriers, they are the AS. They don't have to, they don't really go to the hospital. They can manage the pain by taking like over-the-counter pain medication, or sleeping, or whatever, doing something that would alleviate the pain. So, and the third genotype is AA. This is the best genotype so far, well, that we have. And it's like they have the advantage of marrying whomever they want. So my second point, physical attraction. Physical attraction should not be a reason why somebody goes into a relationship, because especially for men, I'm not trying to be biased here, men are attracted by what they see. So they see this fine girl, like we say in Nigeria, oh, she's fine, she's beautiful, and she has boobs and she has backside. Oh, I'm falling in love with her. That's how people explain, or they fall in love. And hey, everyone to their own, right? So physical attraction should not be a reason why you're going into a marriage. And you have to know the spouse, the person you're getting married to, if they have sickle cell anemia or if they're carriers. I will explain more later in this video. And the third point is, I have prayed and God said he or she is the one. I am not disputing the fact that God would tell you who to marry, right? But then the aspect of, like we Africans are religious. Some of us, let's say majority of us, we are very religious. And I'll tell you, Hosea 4 verse 1 says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. We lack knowledge about spiritual things, and we end up saying, oh, God said he's the one, or God said she's the one. And because of that, we just go ahead and marry whoever without actually doing our research or getting to know if somebody has a blood disease, or they call it disease, I call it anemia. And they just go ahead and marry, and then they end up regretting their actions. So I would say, when you hide your reality, under spirituality, you end up being a casualty. You don't want to be a casualty of what you can avoid. So now let's dive into it. Who to marry? Like I mentioned earlier, AA with a very perfect blood can marry AS, the sickle cell carriers. The AS are sickle cell carriers, and sickle cell is the SS genotype. And the AA people can marry AS or SS. They don't have any problem because they don't have the S genotype in their cells, and they can marry AA, AS, SS, whoever they feel like they want to marry. They have the free will to marry that person, that individual. Welcome back, Dana. And yeah, so AA can marry AS or SS. It doesn't matter. They have the free will to marry whoever they want. And they're compatible, yes. So they have the compatibility, so they can marry. And then the sixth point that I'm making today is consult your physician for a thorough genotype test to have your peace of mind before getting married. Because some people just rush into marriage, and on the long run they find out that they are not compatible with their partners. And it's well, as a Christian, some Christians are stuck forever, but some people, they end the marriage with divorce, and it's not wise. Why would you want to break someone's heart and just mess their lives up and their long time goal up just because of your selfishness? So it's better to consult with your physician if you are compatible with that partner that you chose, yeah, so compatibility is very, very important. Do the genotype test before getting married. So I am a product of 2 sickle cell carriers who, you know, they were not, I would say they were ignorant, not because they had information of it, but they were just, they didn't have any information of it. They were not enlightened, and they went into marriage, and yeah, I am product of it. Unfortunately, we were like 3 in the family that had sickle cell anemia. One lady, not lady, a baby, she was, I according to what I heard from my parents, she was only like maybe a couple of months or 6 months at the most. She was only a few months old when she passed away. And then unfortunately, my brother, who I'm going to be making a full blog about, a full video blog about in future about him, because we were like a very tight siblings. I don't want to cry. Yeah. So now I'm the only one in the family with sickle cell, period. So, like I was saying, there is a 50% chance that an AS couple would have a child with sickle cell anemia. So, what that means is, if 2 individuals with AS, that sickle cell carrier, come together as husband and wife, they can have a child with sickle cell anemia. They have a 50% chance that they will have a child with sickle cell anemia. That's a lot. So think about that. Do you want to have a child that would go through sickle cell pain for the rest of their lives? Think about that. And there is a 25% chance for an AA person and an AS person, that's the carrier, to have a sickle cell child, while there is a 75% chance, 75, for an AS person to marry an SS person. So that means every of their child can actually be a sickle cell patient, except for maybe one. If they have 4, maybe one out of the 4 can be AS, but all 3 others will be SS. I actually had a friend who also is deceased. He had sickle cell anemia. His brother had sickle cell anemia. He has 2 brothers that also had sickle cell anemia, and only one of them is AS. So I believe the mother was also SS, a sickle cell patient, and unfortunately he's gone to be with the Lord. Both of his brothers are also dead, and his mother is also gone. Only the guy with AS is alive with his father. Let it sink in, y'all. Let it sink in. Sickle cell anemia is real. Love, yes, love exists, but love should not overpower your sense of judgment. Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to put a child through hell just because you're in love with somebody? Is it worth it? Do your research. And like I mentioned earlier, people believe, oh, I'm a Christian, I'll go into it anyways, God is going to have my back. Wisdom is profitable to direct. If you don't have wisdom, get wisdom. The Bible says it. Get it. In all by getting, get understanding. Don't bring a child into this world because, oh, you're in love with that girl, or you're in love with that guy, and oh, there's no husband out there, or there's no good woman out there. I'm just gonna stick to the one I have, and God is going to take control. No. Wisdom is profitable. SS cannot marry SS. They will have 100% chance of having another SS child. That's actually ridiculous if you think you're gonna go ahead and marry another person with sickle cell anemia. That's not faith, that's foolishness. Give yourself some sense. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be harsh, but reality can be harsh. Now that you have the percentages, it doesn't mean that you should go ahead and still make wrong choices. You know, these are not accurate. You know, you might end up being the unlucky one. You know, if you choose to go with your choice, well, you might not be lucky. Only God gives children, and He chooses the genotypes. So the ball is in your court. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm a product of sickle cell anemia, you know, and my parents went into marriage innocently. They weren't like aware of what sickle cell anemia was. And I was born 84. They didn't have any information at the time. And if you were in America, it would have been like, okay, you had the knowledge. But my parents were back in Nigeria, and they didn't have any information. So now you have a lot of resources. Do your research. You know, there are lots and lots of information. You know, the information is increasing by the day, and I will advise you to get your information. You don't want to put a child through pain. You know, one of my mentors in Nigeria called me. He's a mentor. He was my Sunday school teacher. I don't know if you'll be comfortable if I mention his name, but he knows himself. And by the way, I attended Deeper Life, but I'm still deeper by God's grace. Makeup doesn't really matter. Anyways, he told me about this little girl, only 11 years old, going through sickle cell crisis, you know, and my heart broke. You know, I remembered when I was younger, and I would be isolated, and I would be deterred to fetch water. You know how you fetch water and put it on your head, and you know, it was fun back in the day. But I was not allowed to fetch water. And as a child, you know, even here in America, we see children want to go under the rain and get wet and have fun in the rain. I was not allowed to do that either, because I could get another crisis. I was not allowed to walk long distance even when I was a teenager, but I did rebel. I would walk because my parents came here in the 90s, and I would walk, and I disobeyed a lot while growing up. Even being a Deeper Lifer, I still disobeyed, and I would walk, and I would spend my transport fare and eat puff and all of that snacks on the road while walking with my friends. It was fun, and I was deterred from a lot of things. Jokes apart now, I mean, I was deterred from doing several things that I would love to do. You know, as a child, you want to do things like children, but then I was not allowed to do them, and it would always make me question, Lord, what's going on? Even as a child, I'll be like, I don't like, and then my mom would be like, I'm a special child, and I'm like, I don't want that kind of special. I don't want to be that kind of special. I want to be special in other aspects, and not in terms of my health. So I guess the Lord heard my long years of prayers, that I just want the sickle cell thing out of my life forever. And God said amen when I started this sickle cell journey. I mean, the transitioning journey. And I am here going through this treatment and giving thanks to God that he heard me. He heard me, y'all. He heard me. I was giving a testimony in church on New Year's Day, a day after it was the 2nd, and I remember sharing that I almost died. Actually, I said 2019, but it was 2020/2021. I was in the hospital on Christmas Day, and my baby girl was only a year old. I was hospitalized, and one of those days, the nurse and the doctors rushed into my room because the reading meter thing that they use, the machine, it showed them that my heart rate was flatlining. That means that they were losing me. So they rushed into my room, and I thought I was sleeping, and I was like, what's going on? I opened my eyes, and they were like, we were losing you. I'm like, well, I was just sleeping. You're not losing me, y'all. I want to sleep. Bye. But when it dawned on me, I was like, wow, I could have died, and y'all could have forgotten about Oluwatosin Mercy Joseph. I would have been gone, y'all. But God's mercy said no. Yes, my name said no. Jesus said no. And I always tell people, I am Jesus's baby, and don't come and be thinking that you want to be jealous in me. There's no form of jealousy. It's Jesus. So give your life to Jesus and have a very close relationship with him, and you'll be like enjoying the same benefits. Jesus got my back. He can also have yours if you surrender to him. So y'all, that'll be all. Be wise in the aspect of choosing a life partner. Don't just go into it because, oh, I'm that fine girl. She get boobs, she get nyash. You did on your own. No. It's not wise. It's not wise. To have wisdom is profitable. Be wise, y'all. God bless you. God bless you. Take care.